All right, it's a beautiful, beautiful November day, and we are.
In Dodge City, Kansas.
Enjoy. Today's adventure took us to Dodge City, Kansas. As always, Caro, tell us a little bit about Dodge City.
Dodge City was founded in 1872 and named for Fort Dodge, and as of 2020 had a population of about 28,000 people.
As we usually like to do, we're actually kind of on the outskirts of the downtown area. We started in this little park. And those first pictures were actually at a 911 memorial, and we're sort of working our way into the heart of the downtown. Actually, very much a tourist district are the pictures that you're seeing right now. And this is Wyatt Earp Avenue that cuts right through the heart of the city.
Yes, the Dodge City Peace Commission, which was started in 1883, included Wyatt Earp and Bat Masterson, among others.
Yeah, this is one of the few towns not being from the area that we had actually heard of. And it was a very small town. At least our impression would be that it would be a lot bigger, just maybe because of its notoriety. But this is a pretty small town. It's always challenging to figure out the best way to capture these towns. If you've watched our videos, sometimes we just take pictures and video and kind of clip them together, or we'll even do a little bit of a drive-through just so you get a better perspective. But this is one of the few towns that we've ever visited that doesn't have a very clear and dominant main street. It's more like a main square. Is that what you'd call it?
That's what I'd say.
So we had to do kind of a lot of zigzagging around to try to capture it. So it's just almost impossible to get a cohesive start to finish journey that way. That doesn't take away from the coolness of it, of course. It's a little bit harder to capture it and to present it in a meaningful way. But all of these pictures are in what I'm going to call that downtown square, which is probably about 3 blocks wide by about 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's not really big.
Deep. Yeah, it wasn't a particularly large area.
So its claim to fame, it became part of the Great Western Cattle Trail. So for driving Texas Longhorns up to the railways in Kansas, that's sort of how it had got famous and why it's such a big meat packing place right now. It was a little slow to get started because originally the Kansas legislature put a quarantine line around central Kansas because there was some disease being transported by cows. But when other cities were making big bucks from Texas cattle, eventually they relented.
Yeah, and today, obviously, the city's basically using that history as a basis for their tourism. And so it's very much a touristy kind of town. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can tell that's really what they're geared toward. They have the museum, some trolley rides, although we didn't see them, so they may only be seasonal. It's November when we're filming this. Like an old West-looking hotel, and even kind of like an old West block. That I don't know. We didn't take the tour. It wasn't open when we were there. I don't know if they brought in actual buildings or if it was the actual house. So I can't tell you that, but definitely capitalizing on their history.
Here's another example that we've mentioned in other videos of the street art that's in all these small towns in Kansas, whether it's murals or sculptures.
Yes, but this particular sculpture, there's got to be a story to it, but
we don't
have
know
no
it.
idea what it is.
And you could see me standing next to it for scale. It was big.
Yeah, huge. They don't have any kind of plaque or anything, so we have no idea what the point of that was. I'm sure it's somebody famous, but kind of lost on us. And here we are kind of working our way back where we started, actually just sort of scanning the whole Main Street frontage road, I guess, which, like I said earlier, is Wyatt Earp Avenue. Just about to head back to the car, and then, like I said, since it was just difficult to try to capture, we decided we'd just do a little drive-through, sort of cutting down what we would consider the heart of the downtown. So this is us coming into Dodge City. We're coming in from the west, heading east.
Correct.
On Wyatt Earp Avenue.
What's interesting, so Dodge City had more famous and infamous gunfighters working at one time than any other town in the West. And they are famous for the Long Branch Saloon, among other things. They're saloons and gambling halls. And most of these gunfighters participated in the Dodge City War, which is a bloodless conflict that took place between Luke Short and the Dodge City mayor because they were trying to force them to close the Long Branch Saloon. They take their saloon seriously.
There's a little depot there to the left. There was a train. I don't know if quite caught that, but that's really the heart of the tourist district that would all be to the left-hand side of the screen. And we're about to turn on Central District. In case you're wondering, I just try to be polite and not put license plates, so this will go away in a second. There it goes. So anyways, this is kind of like I said, it's a pretty small downtown, and we're on what I would consider the edge of it on Central Avenue or Central Street. And we'll go up a little ways. I think we go up about maybe a half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, just because we did kind of run into some older neighborhoods that we thought were interesting enough to put on camera. Might be hard to tell from the video, but those are actually cobblestone or brick roads that we're traveling on, which is also why we didn't use the video. We're actually narrating this as we go, but those cobblestones were just absolutely bumpy and so noisy as can be. So instead, we're trying to wing it here, remember all that we saw. It's about as far as we're gonna go, and we're gonna circle back around and come down, I believe it's First Street?
Yes.
Which sort of flanks the other side of the heart of downtown. And we chose to do this only because we really like to capture the houses of the town, and usually the ones nearest downtown obviously are going to be some of the older ones.
There were some really cool old houses down here.
Yeah, and like most everywhere we visit, you're going to have, especially when you're near the downtown quarter, you're going to have an interesting combination of beautifully restored and preserved houses next to houses that are condemned or should be.
Right.
And Dodge City is no exception. On the left is the police station. Again, here's me trying to be polite to the person in front of us. That'll go away here in just a second. There we go.
To me, for a city that I had actually heard of, it had a surprisingly small downtown, I felt like.
Yeah, this would have been a great one to visit 150 years ago.
No, it seems like a dangerous, lawless town. I don't think I'd want to be there.
Right. So these are just some pictures that we took on the way out just to sort of capture the meatpacking industry. With that said, let's wrap this up.
All right, what did you think of Dodge City?
I liked Dodge City. It's a little different than what I expected. I mean, I knew it was touristy and we didn't do the museum or anything, but it did have an old downtown and I enjoyed it. How about you?
I enjoyed it as well. Obviously, we weren't here to do the touristy cowboy museum stuff, so we just sort of stuck to the exploring of the downtown, the outer skirts of the city. Learned a lot. Obviously, this is a huge meat processing
Yes.
place. Unfortunately, or rather fortunately, you can't smell what we're smelling right now as we're
Yeah.
going through the heart of the industrial park. But it was really an interesting trip, and enjoyed it. And look forward to our next destination. So get off the couch. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.